Ricky Smiley, the one and only Ricky Smiley, national syndicated radio host, and then some. Hilarious, by the way. But you're going to have to step aside for 1 second because I got my altar. Why? Because I got my altar. Stevens A-list, all-time Atlanta sports athletes. Let's get right to it. Number 5, give it to me right now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Here it is. Michael Vick. No doubt we're going to put that right there. Why? Because he's Michael Vick. He was electrifying. He was a former #1 overall pick out of Virginia Tech, and even though he had some troubles, there's no denying how bad that brother was. He put a show in Atlanta on a weekly basis. The ATLs got mad love for him. They always have, they always will, and they always should. That's number 5 on the list. Number 4, Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on now. Why? Excuse me. Dominique Wilkins is the #1 reason in a lot of people's minds why Atlanta sports is even relevant. Haven't had a championship with the Atlanta Hawks, but you had the human highlight reel. We know what time it was with Dominique Wilkins. You saw him against Larry Bird and those boys. You know how great he was. Excuse me, if it wasn't for Jordan, we'd have been talking more about Dominique. Let's go to number 3 on the list.
Would you take over?
Ha! Evander Holyfield. The real deal. I could let Max talk about it, but he'll do that over at the desk. This is a champion. He's a warrior. Go back and watch footage of him knocking out Buster Douglas. Go back and watch footage of him going up against Riddick Bowe. We know how big time. And, excuse me, it wasn't Mike Tyson biting his ear. Wasn't the only reason Evander Holyfield was relevant. The real deal was something special. Number 2 on the list. Prime time. Y'all know what time it is. Deion Sanders.
Now you're preaching.
I got one thing to say about primetime, actually 2. Number 1, the greatest cornerback in the history of football, number 1. And number 2, you know you are a bad brother when your nickname alone with your game, the game in broadcasting as well as in football, you ain't even allowed to be on in daytime.
Right.
It's prime
You
time.
missed one. Must be the money that's turning them on.
Number 1 on the list. The one and only.
Yeah.
The hammer.
Yeah, you're right.
The hammer.
Yeah.
755 career home runs, a lifetime batting average of .305. And this man did all the things that he did. No steroids, no PED speculation, none of that. And we also know the trials and tribulations that society put on him, and he still did what he did. This is my top 5 list. I don't even think it can be questioned. You heard what I said.
By the way, you turn every single one of his home runs into singles. He's still in the Hall of Fame, 3,000 hits.
You guys are good with the list?
We're good.
We're good?
No.
No?
You missed a big one.
What did I miss?
Michael Vick was electrifying. Greg Maddux was considered maybe the greatest right-handed pitcher who ever lived.
Well, when we talk about the greatest pitchers, even though he was great, we're usually talking about Smoltz, Maddux, and Glavine. So it's a 3-headed monster. With Michael Vick, it was just Michael Vick.
Right.
Maddox was not a big-time postseason performer.
Oh, then I don't want to talk about
Regular season, he might have been the greatest pitcher of all time. Might have been the best pitcher who ever lived.
Okay.
Over
Ricky,
Michael Vick, sorry.
you want to move anything around?
At first, I was nervous. When you put Michael Vick at the bottom, I was really, really nervous. But this really made me nervous because I always felt like Dominique Wilkins probably maybe right here.
Right.
You know, maybe Dominique. But I can't argue with you, Steve. Of course. But Evander Holyfield, I think you could have switched these 2 right here.
Holyfield. Wilkins was never a champion. Holyfield was.
Okay, you got a point right there. This right here, you can't go wrong with that.
That's right.
So that's prime
The only
time.
reason he ain't #1 is because of Hank Aaron.
Absolutely.
You're with it. You're cool.
You sold me.
The battle for the top 3 spots shows you how many ridiculously great athletes played right here or performed right here. Because you could argue any one of these 3 should be #1.
No question. All right, Ricky, let's talk
Somebody
the
said
game.
Herschel Walker. I heard somebody said Herschel.
Bulldogs, why not?
Atlanta, not Georgia.
Okay,
Atlanta, not
that's
Georgia.
what they say. You got a lot of Georgia Bulldogs fans.
I understand, but my list was about Atlanta, not Georgia.
Right.
If it was Georgia, Herschel Walker would have been in there.
Right.
Without question.
No, man. Outcast, the East Side boys. but you have to have a rapper on the side.
I got you.
Right,
Gotta put the rap on the side.
Right.
I can do
All
that.
right.
Yeah, T.I.
T.I., Ludacris, the whole
Ricky,
crew.
when you made your pick, I saw you went L.A. You're going the Rams. Why do you think they're going to win it?
I think Todd Gurley is going to get loose. I think that's why they saved him in the last game. One of the best running backs in the NFL. I feel like the quarterback is really going to go out and have a good game. Or whatever. I think they're going to stop Tom Brady. If the referees go ahead and let somebody hit him. If Tom Brady get hit 2 or 3 times, they're not gonna win the Super Bowl. You got a young team. They're gonna break them down. They hungry, and I just really think the Rams gonna put on a show. I think the Rams running game, if they can stop those little short slant passes and they get to the quarterback, I think
that's a lot of ifs. If they get to the quarterback, they better put a pillow on the ground for Brady.
I mean, with all of the ifs you throwing out there, if I had an afro, I'd look 10 years younger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know it's a lot of ifs, but I'm gonna go with the young team. I'm gonna go with the young team because they have a lot of enthusiasm and they hungry. Right. You ever ate a cracker when you was real hungry?
Yeah, I did.
It tastes good.
Damn good cracker. Damn good cracker.
Eddie Murphy.